Hey everyone, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been so fired up about something that you could feel it in your bones? That project, that workout routine, that new hobby? It wasn't just an idea, it was a burning flame. You felt unstoppable. You woke up early, stayed up late, and the world seemed to fade away because you were so locked in. And then, one day, it just stopped. That flame, it fizzled out. The passion you had, it turned into a chore. That burning desire became a whisper, then a faint memory, and you just gave up. You feel guilty. You feel like a failure. You look at others and wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stick with anything? Listen to me. This isn't a story about a lack of discipline. This is a story about a hidden force that is actively, silently stealing your motivation. And it's not what you think. You know that feeling, right? The moment you start something, you're already daydreaming about the end. You start a YouTube channel and you're not thinking about your first video. You're thinking about the silver, the gold play button. You start a fitness journey and you're not thinking about today's workout. You're imagining a perfect body on the beach next summer. This is the first hidden trap. We fall in love with the idea of the outcome, not the process. We become addicted to the fantasy. And that fantasy is intoxicating. It's a highlight reel of our future selves. It's effortless, perfect, and comes without the sweat, the struggle, or the endless grind. So when reality hits, when the process reveals itself to be messy, difficult, and repetitive, we get disillusioned. My friend Sarah is a perfect example. She wanted to be a writer. She bought a beautiful journal, a fountain pen, and a fancy coffee maker. Her first week was glorious. She'd post pictures of her setup, write a few paragraphs, and daydream about being a published author. But after a month, the daily act of writing, of facing a blank page, of grappling with imperfect words, became a monster. The fantasy shattered. The process was just too hard, too real. She quit. And her beautiful journal is now a coaster for her coffee mug. We do that too often. We become idea collectors. We have dozens of ideas in our heads, but we never truly delve into anything. We jump from one thing to the next, seeking that initial rush of excitement without ever allowing ourselves to get through the difficult phase to achieve real results. Each time we fail, we tell ourselves, next time will be different, but we are just repeating a vicious cycle. When we focus on the outcome, the process becomes a means to an end, not something valuable in itself. And when we lose sight of the joy in the doing, we lose our motivation. Have you ever had a brilliant idea, a massive plan, and you lead it all out? You wrote down every single step perfectly. You had an impeccable to-do list. And then you looked at that list. It was a mile long, a mountain. And your brain just went, nope. This is the silent killer. Overwhelm. We try to boil the ocean. We try to do everything at once. We set goals that are so big, so ambitious, that they paralyze us before we even begin. We see someone successful and think we have to do everything they did, all at once. I need to wake up at 5 a.m., work out, meditate for an hour, write 2,000 words, network with 10 people, and manage a side hustle. It's an impossible wait. And when we don't achieve it all in a single day, we feel like a failure, and our motivation takes a nosedive. I was there once. I wanted to learn to play the piano. I didn't just want to learn a few chords. I wanted to be a virtuoso. I downloaded apps, bought books, signed up for a course, and told everyone I knew that I was going to be the next Mozart. The plan was flawless. The first week was great, but the moment I realized how much time and effort it would take, how much repetition, how many bad notes I'd have to play before I could play one good one, I folded. The enormity of the goal crushed me.
The piano is still in my living room, covered in dust, a painful reminder of my ambition. Our brains are designed to protect us from danger, and to it, an overly large goal is perceived as a threat. It sees the entire mountain, not the tiny path right in front of you.
It creates fear and anxiety, and the easiest way to avoid that fear is to do nothing. Yes, we call it procrastination, but it's really a defense mechanism of the brain to prevent us from facing a task that feels overwhelming. In a world of one-click purchases, endless scrolling, and instant feedback, we have forgotten what delayed gratification feels like. We start a journey, we post our progress, and we expect a cascade of likes, comments, and encouragement. When it doesn't come, we feel unseen, we feel unappreciated, we feel like our efforts are in vain. My friend, John, started an amazing podcast. He put his heart and soul into every episode. He was passionate about the topic. But after 3 episodes, the download numbers were low and the comments were minimal. He was pouring so much of his energy into this project, but the world didn't seem to notice. He felt empty. He felt like he was talking to a void. And he stopped. We crave external validation. We need to know that what we are doing matters, and we need to know it now. But true growth, true mastery happens in the quiet moments, in the unseen hours when no one is watching. Your motivation should not be a fragile thing that relies on external praise. It should be a fortress built on internal satisfaction. Think about the greats, an artist, an athlete. They don't just work when there's an audience. They work when no one is around. That's when they truly develop. They love honing their craft, pushing their limits, not for a round of applause, but for the joy in the process itself. There is another enemy lurking in the shadows, and that is comparison. We live in a world where everyone showcases their best moments. We see overnight successes, perfect photos, and inspirational stories condensed into 30 seconds. And we look back at our own lives. We look at the daily struggle, at the mistakes, at the slow and messy progress. We compare our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. And immediately we feel like we are falling behind. We think we are not good enough. Our motivation is eroded by a sense of inadequacy and envy. I have a friend who started a coffee shop. He spent months planning, decorating, and experimenting with recipes. But then he went on social media and saw another coffee shop that just opened, packed with customers and getting rave reviews. He didn't know they had spent hundreds of thousands on advertising, that they already had a large network of customers. He only saw their success and felt his own efforts were tiny. He began to doubt every one of his decisions and almost gave up before the shop even opened. Comparison leads to a bigger problem, the fear of failure. We are afraid to start something because we are afraid we won't be able to do it perfectly. We are afraid of being judged, of being laughed at, of being criticized. Perfectionism is not a virtue. It is a subtle defense mechanism. We would rather not try at all than try and be imperfect. We would rather stay in the safe zone of procrastination than risk stepping out and facing the possibility of failure. Remember, all successful people have failed. They have stumbled, made mistakes, and been criticized. The difference is they don't let the fear of failure stop them. They see failure as part of the process, a great teacher. Conclusion: how to rebuild your motivation.
So how do we get that flame back? How do we become unstoppable again? Here is a 4-step roadmap you can start today. Step 1. Fall in love with the process again. Create valuable moments. Find joy in the smallest things. When you write a sentence, feel the words appear on the screen. When you lift a weight, feel your muscles working. Don't think about the outcome. Be present in the moment. Use the Seinfeld method. Comedian Jerry Seinfeld has a famous piece of advice. He wanted to write a joke every day. He didn't set a goal to write a perfect script. He just set a goal to write, and he would mark an X on his calendar every time he completed it. The only goal was not to break the chain of X's. This way, he created internal motivation by turning writing into a game. Try this method with your goal. Just mark a small X every day. Habit stacking. Attach a new habit to an old one you already have. After I drink my morning coffee, I will write 1 sentence. After I brush my teeth at night, I will read 1 page of a book. This way, you don't need willpower to start because the new habit has already become part of the old one. Step 2. Shrink the goal. Apply the 2-minute rule. Whenever you start a new task, make it a task you can complete in 2 minutes or less. Instead of go to the gym, try put on your workout clothes. Instead of learn English, try open the vocabulary app. The goal is not to complete the task, but to start. Once you've started, motivation will naturally appear. Create micro goals. Instead of write a book, try write 1 sentence. Instead of clean the house, try put 1 item back in its place. These small wins create a positive flow of dopamine, encouraging your brain to continue. Break down the mountain. Look at your biggest goal. Now break it into smaller steps. Then break those steps down again until the very first step is so simple and easy that you can't say no. Step 3. Protect your motivation. Turn off comparison mode. Take time to disconnect from social media. Stop comparing your life to perfectly edited images. Remember that the people you admire also have bad days and unseen failures. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. That's the only race worth running. Find an accountability partner. Share your goal with a close friend or family member. Track each other's progress. Sometimes just knowing that someone is watching and cares about our journey is enough to keep us from quitting. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Instead of waiting until you reach the final goal to celebrate, celebrate the small victories along the way. After a week of hard work, treat yourself to a nice meal or a favorite movie. Step 4. Learn to forgive yourself. Most importantly, forgive yourself for giving up. Failure doesn't define who you are. It's just part of the learning process. Most people give up not because they lack the ability, but because they can't forgive the small failures along the way. The world doesn't need another person who starts 100 projects and finishes none. It needs someone who falls in love with the mundane, with the daily grind, with the quiet moments of progress. So, take a deep breath, forgive yourself for giving up, pick up that project again. And this time, don't aim for perfection. Don't aim for the fantasy. Just aim for the process, because the process is where the magic happens. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. What project are you going to start again today? I'll be there, cheering you on.